Hey everyone! Today I am a part of the Goodwill Gals Hop here on YouTube with my friends Geraldine and Annette. You can find them at Geraldine Rose and at AS Card Design. We are participating in Hearts Around the World, where we send a Valentine's card to a participating school so they can learn where they came from. So I've got a card base prepared here and a card panel and some extra cardstock to stamp on and die cut. And I'm using this Safari stamp set by Crafty Individuals. And I'm going to use the leopard, and then there's a leopard print embossing folder as well. And I have brought out 3 different colors of Distress Oxide inks. I've got Spun Sugar, Kitsch Flamingo, and Picked Raspberry. I wanted to make this a very bright and cheery Valentine's card, focusing on a lot of pinks. I'm starting with Kitsch Flamingo, which is the medium pink out of these ones that I've chosen, and I'm just blending it over the entire panel. There was a little something on my blending brush, which made a couple lines, but that's okay because I'm going to do something with it after anyways. But first I am going to take this extra white cardstock here and stamp the leopard on. I am going to die cut the leopard out of this large heart and then the sentiment out of this slightly smaller heart. So I was just lining them up so I made sure that I have room on that panel for both. So I'm stamping this with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and heat setting it with clear embossing powder. And then I'll just place it back in the MISTI and line the heart up just so I can make sure I have the placement right for the next heart. And I'm taking the sentiment that says Wild About You and lining it up there, stamping it in the same VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and heat setting it with the clear embossing powder. And then I will go ahead and die cut the sentiment out. And there it is. Put it aside, and I'm going to work on this leopard. I'm starting with some Spun Sugar ink and just doing the inside of the ear and the nose and mouth area. I wanted that one lighter than the rest of the leopard. And then I'm coming in with the Picked Raspberry and doing the rest of the leopard in this rich dark pink. I do realize that it is not a realistic color for a leopard to be colored pink, but this is a Valentine's card for a 4th grade class, and I figured that the kids would appreciate the pink leopard. Who doesn't love a lot of pink on Valentine's Day, right? It is taking me a bit to get this all colored in, so while I continue layering the ink on this leopard, I just want to remind you to go and check out Annette and Geraldine's cards on their channels. I will have the links in the description of this video so you can easily find them, but they both have made amazing cards to send to this school in the US, and watching their process is wonderful. You will learn a lot, you'll be inspired and encouraged to create and just enjoy the process. To finish off this leopard here, I am coming in with that Picked Raspberry, the darkest pink, and very lightly adding it to the nose and the ear just to darken it up a little bit while still keeping it light enough. And then I'm just grabbing a paper towel here and just kind of buffing over the embossed area just to get the ink off of the embossing. And then I die cut that out. And now I'm going to run this panel through this leopard embossing folder, and it turned out wonderfully. So now I'm just laying this on, and I kind of moved things around a little bit here and there, and something just wasn't right. I wasn't sure if it was placement or what, but then I decided, you know what? I am going to stamp the sentiment again, but this time I'm going to stamp it with the Picked Raspberry, the darkest of the pink inks, and it will match the leopard, and I just felt that that probably would be better. I don't generally stamp sentiments with Distress Oxide ink, but I wanted to for this one, so I did it several times and then heat set it with clear embossing powder as well. And once I die cut this out and laid it on the panel, it just totally made it different in my opinion. I liked it so much better than the black, so I'll save the black for a future project. But I'm taking out, I think, the only Happy Valentine's Day stamp that I own. It's just this tiny little one, and I added a couple little pink hearts, one in the darker and one in the lighter. And then it will be time to adhere things together on the card here. Of course, I needed some coffee. I'm taking my Barely Art glue, which is getting really empty. You can see me squeezing it there, but I'm attaching the panel on there and then gluing the leopard down and then gluing the sentiment down. I used a pink Jelly Roll pen just to add a little bit of detail on the pupils of the eyes there. And then I brought in some nail art gems that I had picked up somewhere along the way, and I had some pink ones that kind of matched, and it is taking me forever to figure out where I wanted them. So I'm kind of lining them up here and there. I thought it was okay, but I wasn't quite sure, so I'm adding some more and then taking some off, moving them around. Sometimes I get annoyed with myself that this part of the process takes me so long, but I also think it's important to just continue on with it until you yourself are happy with your own creation. So I'm just about done here. I think I've got it almost how I want it. So now I will bring out the Barely Art glue and adhere all of those gems down in place. And here is the finished card. Wild About You with that bright pink leopard and the leopard print in the background, some gems on there. I think it turned out quite well. And it says Happy Valentine's Day on the inside with a couple more hearts. I'm hoping this 4th grade class appreciates it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, peaceful day. And please don't forget to go into the descriptions and find the videos for my friends and watch them as well.